Fucking Mistborn is a book that I have been trying to get people to read for years. And I'm not kidding about that. Like, I have loaned this book to maybe 5 people. One of them actually read it, and they read it after I took the book back and convinced them to read it again, so they went and bought the trilogy. So it is of no doubt for me to say that I've been having difficulty getting people to read these books, which has led me to just resort to making a video on YouTube because I've been watching a lot of BookTube recently, and I thought, hey, that seems pretty fun. My current channel isn't going anywhere, so let's try something else I like. And you know what I really fucking like? Talking to people about books. So strap in, folks. Mistborn is the second novel ever published by Brandon Sanderson. I believe that's true. If not, I'm wrong. This is the second one, right after Elantris, whatever. It's right here. You ever heard of Elantris? Well, there it is. I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to after I finish Warbreaker. Needless to say, I'm on a bit of a Brandon Sanderson fiesta. So let's get partying. Needless to say, I think everyone should join in on this Brandon Sanderson fiesta because all of his books are incredible. Characters are funny, the story is interesting, the world is amazing and cool, and everyone adapts to the world accordingly. It's a perfectly imagined world. Nobody realizes that when I tell them and hold this book in front of their face. I say, hey, you should read this. All they see is this really cheesy, terrible American cover. And they're like, that's not for me. And I'm like, well, it is. You are just being shallow. Shallow people, am I right? The society is split into 2 different classes. There's the Ska, which are basically the slaves. They're terribly treated. They're raped and beaten and killed, and nobody turns an eye because they're less than human. And then there's the nobility. In this world, it is set basically like in all the other fantasy movies where they have the Dark Lord and there's a prophecy of someone's going to save the world. It's 1,000 years after the bad guy won, and he basically just became a god and has established this whole kingdom. It's called the Final Empire. It's awesome. So in this world, the nobility have these powers, and they're called Mistings or Mistborn. In this world, if you consume metals, you can burn it, and you can do different things. Like, you can push and pull on people's emotions, make yourself naturally stronger, you can increase your senses. Push and pull metal away or towards you, but it's toward your center of gravity. If it's something's heavier than you, it'll push you instead. So if you push a coin into the ground, you'll go up, and that's how they, like, fly. And it's really cool. It's all, like, momentum and vector based. It's awesome. It's so interesting. Mistborn follows 2 Mistborn that basically are Ska and want to rob the Lord Ruler, who's the big bad guy. It is so good. It is so good. I don't know how much more I can say about this book without spoiling it. It's funny. It's witty. I read these books for the characters, and that's crazy. Because it's an epic high fantasy. You don't expect that. But Sanderson has this amazing way of writing that makes you care for the characters. It gives you really cool action. You have this super cool plot. And by the time you reach the end of the book, you feel like an expert on this world. The fact that you feel so knowledgeable is really satisfying. And then he also concludes the story in a satisfying way. So it's just like ultimate satisfaction. And whenever I tell people to read these books, they don't read them. And I don't get it. Like, read these books. You're not going to regret it. The only thing you might regret is putting down the book that you were reading, that you were really into. But you won't even regret it that much because you'll read this book and you'll be like, oh, I'm glad I read that. Cool. Now I can go back to my other awesome book. But you should read this awesome book because it's awesome. This video is literally formed out of the frustration of the fact that nobody will read this book after I recommend it to them. Thank you for watching. Please read Mistborn, and I don't know if this channel is going to be a thing. Go watch my first video, which will probably be about this channel and what it is. Hey, see you later. Cool. Hey, hey. You, the one who's watching this video right now, I like you. I like you because you watch this video now. You know what, I'll like you more if you do? If you go read Mistborn, because you really want my affections.